Hey guys, Dr. Brady Salcedo here, and I have kind of an interesting and fun video for you today, and hopefully this will be helpful for you as well. I'm kind of doing this one on the fly because I have some interesting, exciting news to share that hopefully will be helpful for you as well. So let's get into it. So the title of this probably gives it away, but for the past year and a half, I have had no smell thanks to COVID. Now, obviously in the beginning of COVID, I didn't have any smell, but then everybody's saying, you'll get your smell back. It'll come back eventually, just give it time, it'll come back. Well, it never did. And it came back a little bit, right? But I still couldn't smell ambient smells. I couldn't pick out a smell unless I really, really focused on it. I couldn't smell anything fragrance. Like if it was a fragrance like a cologne or a spray for the room or whatever, I could not tell you the difference between one versus the other. It just all had this blanket, terrible smell. And I just couldn't get rid of it. And so I was relying to the fact that maybe that was just going to be my life. Maybe COVID had really rewired my brain to where I was never really going to get that smell back. But then I thought to myself, I was like, okay, well, if my brain wired that way, it can rewire another way. I have videos that talk about this. And so I started doing the smell training. And it helped a little bit, but I really didn't see any benefit from it beyond just a little bit of a difference. But it was really only for those particular essential oils. And the smell training is where you just take those 4 groups of essential oils or several different groups that kind of compound the different smell categories that we have. And you smell them every single day and try to retrain your brain to remember what those smells smelled like. And it helped a little bit, but not much. And so I was pretty discouraged by that. And I tried other supplements and I read a bunch of different articles, and a lot of people have had similar issues that I have where they've tried all these different things and nothing really seems to be working. And it wasn't until I came across an article that a YouTuber had mentioned that really kind of made my brain click. And in this article, he talked about a study that was done where they kind of referenced where the reason that people may be losing their smell could be due to inflammation in the olfactory center of our brain. Now, the olfactory center of your brain is where your sense of smell comes from. And so that really kind of clicked for me to where I realized if there's inflammation in the brain, your brain's going to have a hard time rewiring, and also it's going to have a hard time functioning. And so potentially, what could be the reason that I'm not getting my smell back is there's lingering inflammation in my olfactory center of my brain that just hasn't gone away since I had COVID. Now, part of the reason for this is after I had COVID, we obviously had our baby, and my diet and lifestyle has not been great. I'm going to be totally honest with that. And so part of the reason could be because I never got my diet and my lifestyle dialed in, that inflammation's just been sitting there and hanging out ever since. And so part of my goal for this year was I was really tired of just not feeling great. It's been, a rough year of not feeling good, and it's time for me to start really feeling better. Again, I really kind of lost track of all my different lifestyle factors that really made me feel good. I started feeling really terrible, and I was like, you know what? It's time to make a change. And so by making these changes, what ended up happening is today I go work out, I come back upstairs, and all of a sudden I'm thinking to myself, God, I smell terrible. Like I smell absolutely awful. But then it dawned on me, wait a second. I can smell myself smelling terrible. Like this has never happened. And then I thought to myself, well, I can smell myself smelling terrible. What else can I smell? And so I raided my entire bathroom. Anything that had smells, I started smelling. All my deodorants, all my colognes, all the different soaps, shampoos, everything that I had in there. And I realized that I could actually start picking out smells again. I could smell a mint in a deodorant. I could smell, a different fragrance compared to another fragrance. Whereas before it was just all blanket. I couldn't tell you the difference between the two. And so that got really exciting to me. And then I realized a lot of the lifestyle changes that I've been making this year are not only great for my physical health, but they're actually really great for your brain and your brain performance and your brain inflammation. So what I realized is maybe what's happening is by making these lifestyle changes, I'm finally getting that inflammation off that olfactory center of my brain. And now I'm finally starting to see some actual results. Now, this could be the case. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm not saying I have the magic formula. That's why I'm making this videos, because if it's something that may be helpful to me, maybe it'll be helpful for you as well. It's just another thing to try. So let me outline exactly what I've been doing this year and what's been making a huge difference. Because not only has it been helping my smell, I feel incredible. I'm losing weight. I have more energy. My sleep's 10 times better, less aches and pains. I feel phenomenal. So the very first thing that I'm doing is no alcohol. At least for the next 2 months, I'm not doing any alcohol. And really that's made a huge difference. Alcohol is a pretty prominent neurotoxin. Now, if you know me, I love bourbon. I love my whiskey, but it's not great for you. Alcohol is a pretty strong neurotoxin, so that's something I definitely want to avoid if I'm trying to reduce inflammation on the brain. Even a little bit here and there can add up, so I'm doing absolutely zero. The second thing I'm doing is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, obviously I've talked about in plenty of other videos that you can check out, how great it is for your body, how great it is for reducing inflammation, but it's also great for reducing inflammation on the brain. And so that's something I'm definitely placing a priority. It also makes my life so much easier. So I love doing it. I've skimped on it. I haven't done it for like about a year. So it's great to get back on it. One thing I am prioritizing, just as a note, is I am focusing on doing an 18-hour fast rather than the standard 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window. I'm doing 18 to 20 hours of fasting and a smaller eating window. I think that makes a big difference overall, going that little bit stretch longer. The third thing I'm doing is I'm loading my diet with micronutrients. So as soon as I break my fast, I'm getting this shake that I make that has tons of protein in there, but also has loads and loads of greens powder, other supplements that I put in there that are just loaded with micronutrients. So my body has everything it needs to be able to absorb all those micronutrients and actually detox and flush everything out. I think that's super important, especially when you're breaking a fast, one of the most important meals that you can have. Number 4, I am drinking water like it is my job. Now, I'm not trying to necessarily get, a gallon a day, for instance. I'm not really measuring it, and I just like things that are super simple and straightforward. I'm just trying to drink as much water as I can throughout the day. I'm guessing that probably adds up to about a gallon a day. It's really not as difficult once you get used to it, but I'm drinking a ton of water, especially during my fasting window, because I want my body flushing everything out, getting as many toxins as possible out, so that way I can reduce as much of that inflammation as possible. The next thing is I'm getting exercise or movement every single day. I'm not going a day without getting some sort of movement in. So most of my days consist of strength training, high intensity training, or cardio. If I want to take like an off day, I'm at least getting a walk or something in for at least 30 minutes every single day. Even if it's low impact, low resistance, just doing something to get my body moving every single day, and I'm making that a priority. The next one is I'm prioritizing sleep. Not just getting more sleep, but getting great quality sleep. So I'm tracking my sleep with an Oura Ring, and I'm making sure that I'm getting great quality sleep every night. It's something I've slacked on. Obviously, having a baby, you can't really control that. But now that I can control it, now that she's older and she's sleeping better, I can get better sleep. So I need to prioritize that a little bit more. Sleep is really important for your brain to reduce inflammation. It needs great quality sleep. So even if you're getting enough sleep, but it's not great quality, you're still not going to get the most benefits out of your sleep as you can. So you need to really prioritize getting great quality sleep, and it helps to be able to track that. The last thing that I'm doing that's kind of an interesting tweak on this is I'm adding creatine into my regimen. And part of the reason is not only for my muscle endurance and muscle energy to help with my workouts. Part of the other reason is creatine. You can watch a video where I talk all about creatine. A large store of creatine is actually found in your brain as well. And there are some studies that suggest that creatine can actually be helpful for reducing inflammation on the brain because it helps your brain actually perform better by giving it more energy. So this is something I've been adding in to my regimen, and I have noticed a big difference not only in the weight room, but also in my mental performance and energy as well. So it's great overall, but also more importantly, when you look at how this is laid out, it's actually really great for your brain health and brain performance and reducing inflammation on the brain. So my thought is this hopefully is something that's helping reduce inflammation on my brain, in particular the olfactory center of my brain. And hopefully maybe that's what's helping getting my smell back. Could be, I don't know, maybe it's just time and now my body finally just learned how to re-smell again. Who knows the reasoning behind it, but it's been a year and a half and nothing's changed all of a sudden until I started making these changes. So my thought is this is something that may be helping, and hopefully this is something that may be helpful for you as well. Now, if there's any questions on any part of this, or you want me to explain, or if I didn't cover anything on this, just leave it in the comments below, any questions that you have about this, and I can expand a little bit more on that. If you want more info on learning more about what kind of micronutrients do you need to add to your diet, I highly suggest checking out a company called Coincide Tracker. What they'll do is they'll take your blood, so you go to a lab, go get your blood tested. It's very cost effective to do that. What they'll do is they'll run your blood through a series of tests. You'll get the results on your phone, and it'll give you specific suggestions on what you need to do to update and include into your diet and things to do to get the results that you're looking to get based on your specific biomarkers. It's an incredible product, incredible program. I've been a huge advocate for them for over a year now. I use it every single year. Something I always am getting retested. You can actually compare your blood results. So it's something, if you're really looking to dive even deeper into this, I highly suggest you check them out. I'll leave a code down below. Just use the code Dr. Brady and you can get a discount on that. And not only that, it's something that I think everybody should really be doing. So that's all I have for you. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully this is helpful for you. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.